Hey guys, welcome to a spontaneous live stream. You won't believe what we figured out today. Oh my goodness. Oh, hold on. Let me turn this sound on that one. Whoops. Oh, life is so interesting. Never a dull moment. And let me get you guys pulled up on my home screen. You can see the chat. Hey, my quantum affected life. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but everyone went poof, gone uh, in our chat forum. They're all like showing online, but poof, they're gone. I heard they were raptured, but then one came back to tell me that they were raptured and that they were okay. Anyways, I was going to talk a little bit about the two postings that I did today, since there was some questions and confusions about what was said about the heavenly language and this journey that we are all undertaking. And I would agree that it helps to be around people that have either been through it, that are understanding, to kind of help you walk through it. But I have to say that it is something that we have to work out individually, within ourselves. So having somebody that's been through it already, is very, very helpful for the tools and the wisdom that they can offer, and use what applies to you. But it is a very individual thing that we all go through. There's some general steps, but it is very individual. And depending on what kind of doctrines or what kind of upbringing in your culture you have, a lot of places don't teach this. It's a complete misunderstanding. I was taught, that the Holy Spirit baptism was like the end, but I'm telling you guys, it's the beginning. I went to several Christian pastors in different churches, and they had no answers, nothing to help out with what was going on in this, amazing journey that I was undertaking. Now, I did find some similarities that were going on in other people that were actually making videos. I interviewed Anna, and I actually got to watch her process, and it was absolutely beautiful. But as I've said, it's like you're upside down and inverted. I've heard testimonies from other people of what they're going through, and they're similar. Do I think that because I was born in the right country, worshiping the right God, that, I just got that lucky? No. And it's an individual thing that goes on for each and every person. It's not something that, you could write a manual on, one size fits all. It doesn't work that way. And the one thing I did want to get across is don't fear it. Absolutely. Do not fear it. And don't go seeking around trying to find somebody to give you answers. That's where I made my mistake. And the answers, everything I was looking for, was found within. It was found when I turned off the background noise and stopped listening to the many voices, turned off the television, spent time getting to know myself and allowing these things to stir up and come into remembrance. So I allow comments to come through, and I value everybody's comments. Oh my gosh, so dearly. And I will put them through. I apologize if some of them end up getting held. I don't know what constitutes that and why YouTube does that, but it happens. Some of them get held and other ones get pushed right through. So I don't know why that happens. But I'm going to share and talk about that picture. Um, yeah, that weird picture. I did a video on it, but yeah, there's only a few of us. I really am hoping it's a very small group because I'm kind of bashful about this picture my son took, but I'm going to pull it up, screen share, and we'll talk about it. All right. Let me get back to where I can see. All right. Hoping it's not screen sharing me. Hopefully that it's screen sharing the picture. Let's see what it did. If it's screen sharing me, I'll have to go back just to the picture. Yep, back to the picture. Shoot. Okay. In this picture, see if I can get my tablet to put the conversation through. I can at least read. Okay. In this picture, and let's see. Okay, I've got Alicia in here. There's a light source coming into my eyes. Watch the mouse pointer right here. And it's like going around. The sun is on this side of these shelves. There is no other light source. My son came in and he sat down in my husband's chair, facing out. We were working on my son's car. And he looked at me and actually saw this with his naked eye and snapped this photo. Also, if you look here, it's like there's a break in the light source and there's one here. I tried to do everything to discredit it. I said, okay, it's my glasses. Then I said, okay, since maybe it's something else that's reflecting. But the problem that I had with debunking it, even myself, is this pole here, this pole, here, here, and here. The light is not behaving like natural light should. So it's an anomaly. And at the time when he took the picture, what I was feeling in my heart was warmth, like it was expanding. And what I can think of by looking at it and remembering what was going on in that moment was like the pineal gland, the third eye, being opening wide up. It had already been opened up, but I don't know if it was, you know how I say the universe is always talking to us? I wonder if it's, that was just a way of showing me evidence in a photo that what I thought was going on was actually really going on. It's really quite amazing. Uh-oh, I lost connection. My tablet is kind of junky. I'm going to get a secondary computer out here so I can see the chat. So this is the photo, and let's see if I can get it to work. Alicia, can you type something in there so I can see if you're still in there and I could see it, please? Or if this little tablet has just froze up on me. Okay, good. Okay, so it's still working. Okay, good. So what do you think of this? Don't you think this is odd? Like if somebody snapped a picture of you and this is what you saw, what would you think? I'll get off this screen sharing so I could actually see the chat in better time because it's it's a pain in the butt. There. Now I gotta go here, and now there. Okay. Yeah, it's just us kids in here. Anyways, also I found out that my husband set up my lighting um, backwards. So you should be able to see me a little bit better now that the light is not backwards. Oh my gosh, you guys, we live and we learn. So, did you see the picture glowing? No, I need to put it right back up so you can see it. It's just, life is just amazing. It's just amazing. But I did want to talk about the evidence of speaking in tongues. You know, is that a necessity? So you got to see it. Great. Um, it I feel that, you know, I did that video on reconnecting, and just like in anything, you know, we're like a baby, we cry, and then we learn then to speak a few words. So that's how we're able to comprehend. Um, hey, Mel. So when somebody is trying to say, you know, that speaking in tongues is proof of the Holy Spirit, but then I can see somebody that's completely connected, self-aware, operating in their gifts, to try to tell me, you know, through the testimonies that I've heard, in my opinion, I don't think that you have to speak in tongues in order to be connected or reconnected back with Source, with God. So, you know, what do you guys think on that? There was a lot of scripture put in there, and you know, like I said, I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes, but and then another comment was the concern about people going on this journey that they should find a guide. Well, you know, it's great if you have people that have been through it to help you, to lift you up and pull you through, but a lot of times it's so individual that it's the best thing is to go inward, you know, seek from within, figure out that language and understand what's going on, because everybody's is so unique. Um, but the concern is that, you know, that some people end up in the insane asylum. Well, you know, and that would be because of people around them do not understand what's going on with them. So when you're in a society of people that, you know, would immediately think insanity, where do you find a guide in that? Wouldn't, I mean, plus any guide or help, you know, you will have divine appointments. They will come about. I mean, I've just been blessed to have the group of people that I interact with in the chat forum. Not everybody has that. So my recommendation would be to stay in meditation, in prayer, whatever your flavor is. Cut off the distractions until you can hear more clearly. Tell nobody what's going on with you so they don't escort you off to the padded room, because it's an individual journey. And the people that have been through, you know, some of the rougher parts to get those filters removed, they're speaking out. You can find them. I mean, I'm speaking out. Mel's speaking out. Anna's speaking out. There's a lot of the divine feminine now putting themselves out there. Check out my playlist on my channel, for crying out loud. You know, there's men and women on there that are speaking out their truth, talking about their journeys. So, you know, to go and seek a guide, that would almost be like some trying to do it somebody else's way, when it's so individual that their way may not fit you hand in glove. You know, that's one thing that I found out that's very interesting about everything that we've got going on with us, that is so individualized. It's so personal. The gifts that are stirred up are also so personal. And the, you know, dreams that we have, they're personal. The work that needs to be done in each and every one of us is so personal and so unique. So if you found somebody that's been through it, you can glean from the things that they're sharing with you, but everything is not going to line up with what you're going through. And see, Mel is going through it through ancestral language. She's linking up with old family heritage, doing past life regressions, getting into the QHHT. Now, I'm not against you going in and getting the hypnotherapy, doing a reconnection process like what Case from Everyday Masters is doing. But when the journey gets started, it's an independent walk. That's why it's called a narrow path. Even in scripture, it's a narrow path because you're the only one on it. It's designed and divinely ordained for you to go through what you need to go through to remove those filters, to stir up into your remembrance on who and what you are. So, that's the advice that I would give on that comment. I would search things out, of course, read books, yes, self-investigate, yes, but always introspect. Don't follow somebody else's lead. This channel here is trying to give you tools and throw you a little rope, but it's up to you to grab it. But I'm wanting to lead you back into yourself because the answers you're seeking are within each and every one of us. So, that's what I wanted to share on that. Also, I touched on, I guess I haven't released those yet. But hi, Suso. How are you? Glad to see you here, buddy. But yeah, I agree with you, Suso, because even from interviewing you, you had an individual divine thing happen to you where you were given some certain instructions that were appointed to you, and other people, we got different instructions. So doesn't that make it seem more individual? I mean, we are all these beautiful flowers of life, and we're not automatons. We've been put into conformity, by going to school and religions and governments and, conform. And it seems like now is the time we are raising up and we are taking our positions. And I have to say, guys, the people that I've talked to that are either going through this process or are popping out and then attuning, and it's an infinite process, yes. But you do, like, it's almost like, you go to kindergarten, they have that little graduation ceremony. You get out of the junior high school, you have that little graduation ceremony. You get out of high school, you have that little graduation ceremony. So, and college, and then master's degrees, and then doctorates. It's like that, guys. That's probably the only thing that I can see in the world that has something to do with what we can line up with what's going on inside of us. But, the conformity thing, the one size fits all, doesn't work. It just doesn't, because we're so unique. We're so individualized. And the journeys are just, they're absolutely amazing. I mean, I am so blown away by the people who have come forward, told their story, and, put it out there for other people to glean from it. Because we're all unique, but there are some similarities that we can glean from on, what we each go through. But we all get the, different, I would guess, different things are told for us to do. It was really interesting when I was interviewing Suso with what was told to him by the giant orbs versus what I know I was told to do. It's just amazing. And then when I interviewed Anna, same thing. She was told to do something, but it was very different from Suso's. It's very different from mine. Hers was unique and divine appointed to her. When's our big day? Every day's our big day. We're evolving, we're moving forward every day. Every day. I mean, it's in my opinion, we get this remembrance of who and what we are stirred up in us. Our sixth sense, so to speak. Where we're seeing these Mandela changes. We're seeing different things. I had another lady come on and she talked about, how she could change the elements. And then it's a matter of, now that we've remembered, now we must learn how to apply it properly into our daily lives. And just like with anything, we've got to learn to walk before we can run, and then we fly. So we go through the journey of remembrance. We get through that, and then we have to apply it, what we've learned, what's been awakened in us, to our lives. It's a beautiful thing, guys. I tell you, that's why it's so important for other people to realize who and what they are, and how divine, and how, we buffer each other. I've got a little thing going on right now where I'm telling people when they're laying down to go to sleep to focus on a paradise world. It doesn't have to be mine. It could be whatever they think is a paradise world, and think on that. I also have them, I'm asking people to don't tell anybody, but do something very small. And I gave the example of, you want a rainbow flower to bloom, on this bush, but you don't tell anybody else about it, because you don't want anybody to say that's not going to happen, and you want to remove all the doubt in your mind. And once whatever your small little thing is that you created without telling anybody, I want to hear your testimony on, what did you find out? How amazing are you? I mean, that's what it boils down to, you guys. Really? What did you do? What did you do, Glowings? You said you did it tonight. What did you do? That's right. There's no doubt there. You've got to remove the doubt, and you got to believe with all your heart. And a lot of times, you're better off, until you've got solid footing, to don't tell anybody what's going on with you. Just stay in your, even the Bible says, stay in your prayer closet and your Father will reward you openly. Well, and I often say, what's going on in the micro goes on in the macro. So that would be the same thing. It's like a parable. You're in your prayer closet, you're alone, you're doing this, you're removing the doubt, and it's happening, and it's for your eyes to see, and for you to, be in constant amazement. And then as we go on, we learn to apply it into our daily lives. Oh, you made a pretty sunset. Yes. Imagine it whole already. When I'm telling people to do that, yes, Suso. When I'm telling people to do their little side project and tell no one, already picture that it's already there. It's already there, and tell nobody, because you don't want anybody saying that can't happen, because they are able to buffer. Okay, and at this transition period that we're all in, that's what happens, is we get buffered by other people, and really they don't know they're doing it. It's not like they're trying to buffer us on purpose or have malice intent. It's just the own doubt in their own mind can buffer. And that's why I say, go into meditation, go into your prayer closet, whatever your flavor is there. And before you go to bed, I want people to focus on a paradise world. What would be their ideal paradise world? I'm not even telling them what their paradise world would be because we're so individual. And their paradise could be different than mine. And you know what? That's okay. That's okay. Really, the moon was bright orange. Wow. Wow. I'll have to check that out. It's just now, turning nighttime for me. I know Suso's an hour ahead, so it's like 9:30 for him. And glowing's on the other side. So you already see the orange moon glowing? You already see the orange moon? Oh, yours is bright white, not quite full. Okay. At what time did it turn orange, Mel? Did it start out orange, or was it orange the entire night? Oh my gosh. Really? Did it creep you out? Things that make you go, hmm. Okay, now that there's more people, do you guys want me to show you that weird photo? I was talking to you about it, Suso, on our interview. I've got it pulled up. I can screen share it real quick if you guys want to check it out. Orange and black. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Well, Suso, maybe we just need to wait a couple hours. They're one's in the UK and the other's on the East Coast. So you're Mountain Time and I'm Pacific Standard. Yeah. I know. I'm wondering about that too, Suso. With how come if we have a day moon and a night moon, how come the other side of the world can still see a moon? What's going on there? There's something wrong with this picture. How many moons do we really have? And how many times did they land on it? And which moon was it? Which one has Andy Warhol on it? And which one did they reflect the Mona Lisa on? I have questions. So does anybody have any questions, any more questions on the videos I posted today about speaking in tongues and about, putting down devices and opening your third eye, your chakra, Holy Spirit baptism, whatever it is called, whatever culture you come from. Those are the two that I put up today. I thought you guys would like this too. Mr. Magi says that he likes me better with the black background. But I wanted to show how our hearts are quantumly entangled and how deep our hearts are and how much, we think of love between a man and a woman, but there are so many different types of love. I've got a video coming out about AI versus us and, why we shouldn't fear AI. It's just, there's nothing to fear there because we are so far beyond anything that a 1 and 0 could do. About cleansing the pineal. Well, Suso, when you were told those few things that you were asked to do, that may have been what you needed to do to get your house in order, to get that your eyes opened up. That's why think that it has something, that's why we're all told something maybe different, because there may be something different going on with each and every one of us. And then it helps line us out, reconnect us back up. Pine needle, eh? Are you going brainstorm or green needle? Yeah, there's people that have scientific theories and stuff out there, but if you know that there's nothing out here that can hurt you, then nothing will hurt you. It's about getting our house in order. And once we get our house in order and we're restored and everything comes back into remembrance, as we're traveling along that narrow path, and I don't know how many of you guys were in here when we were talking about the narrow path. The narrow path is called a narrow path because you're the only one on it. You. And you're going through your process that is unique for you to get you reconnected, hearing, stirring up the gifts within you, applying them into your life. It's an infinite process. It's so beautiful. It's so wonderful. And I think that's, why it is such a narrow path, because you're the only one on it. Now, I do think that there are people that have been through the journey, so to speak, that have made it easier. I liked the concept of the quantum entanglement, how we are all, just expressions. We're 7 billion strong of expressions of the one. And we overlap each other with the flower of life, and we're quantumly entangled, but the information all goes back into the one. And Anna said that the reason that the volume is being turned up and we're able to hear clearer and people are able to come along better is because the volume of the book has gotten bigger, making it louder and more accessible for other people to go down their narrow path, but it's an easier path to see. Oh my goodness. That is okay. Yes, it is different. The journey is different for everyone, Suso, but the outcome is the same. We all may be having separate journey steps that we're going through, but we're heading to the same destination. So, although you did X, Y, and Z, and but where we're all heading to is the same place. So we're remembering, we're getting our house in order, and then we need to learn to apply it into our lives. Our sixth sense, so to speak. We're so used to, we're even taught in school about our 5 senses. It's drilled into us, in school and just in conformity. Our uniqueness has been taken away, so to speak. We go through this journey, and it is a personal journey for each and every one of us. But the destination as we go through, because my filters are different than yours. And it is about energy. It's about frequency. It's about being able to be connected again. And once we're connected again, although it took me X, Y, and Z, and you A, B, and C, we went to the same place. And then with what we know, we apply it into our life as a whole being. And there's something else that I want to talk about, and that is that people that are going through this process or have popped out, I have yet to see anybody that is wanting to harm anybody. Most, if not all, don't even want to eat meat anymore because of the love for every living creature, let alone thinking about robbing somebody or harming somebody. So it's an amazing transformation. So when we see people out there screaming and hollering for equal rights, and then they're being violent about it, that's not the new way. That's old paradigm thinking. That's the old ways of doing things, to bully your point across. That's not the new earth. That's not the place that we are at. There's some of us on the new earth. it's kind of hard to explain how I see this. The new Earth and old Earth are kind of melded together right now. Um, Somebody can be 3D and somebody can be 5D, and we actually can pop back and forth. But the energy on the 3D Earth is very, very heavy. And once you get used to walking in the 5D, is what, the new Earth, that energy is so light and so full of love. And you actually feel lighter. And when you feel that 3D energy, it's a warning that something has changed. Either somebody that's in your tree of, or in your flower of life, something that they did is going to affect you, or something you did is going to affect other people. And yes, we need to read those energies, discern it, and make a proper decisions on that. Because I'll tell you, one of the things I've noticed is we all get new hearts. I mean, that's something that is pretty common with everybody, is that we get new hearts. It's a beautiful thing. And I'm finding unity in diversity. I'm not seeing where there's one religion lifted up over another, one country lifted up over another. I'm seeing it in all countries, all walks of lives, all religions. This understanding is breaking through all of that old paradigm information. It's a beautiful thing. You guys have any questions? Anything you guys want to talk about? Yes, get your own house in order, and you know that is what you're supposed to start with. Always. There's only one person in this world that you can change. That's yourself. Nobody can force you to change, and you can't force anybody else to change. People have to want it. They need to seek it. We can't force anybody to do anything. But when I was talking to Glowing in her interview, I was asking her if she just walked past somebody with her light energy that she carries, it could ignite something in somebody else. She doesn't have to say anything to them with words, just her presence. I also asked Anna the same question, and she agreed that yes, you can just walk past somebody, flash a smile, no words exchanged, and change their day. Yeah, I bet you're sleepy, hun. If you're like 8 hours ahead, what is it, like 4 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning for you? Susa, are you going to come in and chat with us in Flame? I don't think you've went into like the voice and stuff. You may need some help with the software, learning the software. But there's a lot of us that are there to help you. Yeah, I thought so. 4:38. My goodness, girl. I'm surprised you're here. But I thank you. That's the left half of my brain right there. Mel's tabletop. She's the left half. Yep. Yes. That has been something that has happened to me my entire life. And I was in the store with my mom, and see, I'm used to it because it's always happened. And this lady turned around and started just telling me everything about her. And my mom was standing next to me, and she's like, I can't believe, what is she doing? Why is she telling you all that? I'm like, but people don't talk to you like that? I thought it was odd that people didn't talk to my mom in that way. She thought it was odd that they did talk to me in that way. So it's some things that we think are normal, other people think are abnormal. Yay! End of your work shift. Nice. I want to ask you guys, how's the lighting? I know we still have some fractals, but a little bit in the, I think it's this way, over here. But the lights were backwards. I have to tell you, it was much easier to, mess with the filters. We live and we learn, guys. Embarrassing, but you know what? If it happens to me, I'll tell because, like, it can happen to you too. So as I learn, I share. Thank you, Mel. It is better how I'm not all like blurt out. It's kind of funny. I'm sorry. But I told my husband, I said, all this time these lights were backwards. He tried to argue with me. He's like, no, 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 they're supposed to go the other way. I said, no, because look, it's reflecting the light out and spreading it everywhere like it's supposed to. Oh my gosh. It was funny. But, life is good. And see the white circles around and it's like, it's the quantum entanglement. If you look around everywhere, the signs are of the quantum entanglement, the how connected we are, how we affect each other, how we can buffer one another, and we don't even know we're doing it. If somebody's worried about you, they're buffering you. They're accidentally creating something, and they're doing it out of a good heart because they don't know. It's a complete renewing of our mind. And I have to say, what it says in the Bible, those Christ set free are free indeed. And yeah, when he sets you free, oh my goodness, you are free indeed. It could, Suso. I'm not going to limit any possibility at all. I would not. There's people that think that that Nibiru came around and we jumped on, and the others that weren't ready stayed behind, which would be kind of like a mirror universe, which would be kind of like our consciousness shifted over into a duplicate body that was already on that planet X that crossed through, and we moved on over. But my problem with that theory is, if that was true, then why isn't everybody here awake and understanding if we jumped on already? That's why I sit there and think that it's a paradigm shift, that we could be walking side by side and one could be living in one while another could be living in another. And either we lower down or lift up depending on the circumstances. And soon as more people wake up and understand who and what they are, we will be raising them up when they come around, instead of 10 people living in 3D and you're the one in 5D, and normally stay in isolation because that's the energy level you're comfortable with. It'll be 10 people that are living in the 5D, one person in the 3D, and the 3D person will get lifted up to the 5D rather than the 5D person being pulled down to deal with that denser energy. But what did you guys think of that theory? I love theories. I love perspectives. I love hearing what people have to say. One of my new mottos is we share what we know and we listen so we can grow. I think you're right, Mel. I think you're right. I think if 1% of the population woke up, that the light would be so bright that it would pull the rest along. I think you're right. So did you guys get the flame issue all worked out? Hopefully so. Because you showed up, online. I saw that you were online, but then you were like invisible everywhere. So what happened? I think about that, Mel, and the amount of people that we're coming across and we're seeing that's going through these different stages. What if that 1% is already waking up? They're just still finishing out their journey. You know what I mean? You got to pop out that other side. I know you get a new heart. I know we get a renewing of our mind. I know we become self aware. I know we become aware of how we affect other people around us. Um, and it could and from the people that we're coming across from all different walks of life, different backgrounds, different cultures, this crosses any borders, any boundaries, anything that any doctrines, it surpasses everything. So that 1%, it may already be happening. It's just a matter, it could be weeks or months, or it just depends on how long it takes for them to go through the process of, getting a good footing into the new understanding. And then we start applying it into our life. Yeah, when I was a teenager, there was only like 3.5 billion people on the planet, something like that. Now there's over 7 billion. It's like, what? I don't even think they know. I really don't think they know how many people are on the planet. Really, there's people living off grid. I don't think their numbers are right. Um, I just don't think they really have an actual count of how many people are walking the earth. For all we know, it could be, 7 million people. We don't know. Wow, really? Where did you come up with the 360,000 awake in America? Right, that's what I'm saying. Some are unregistered, off grid. Plus, the systems, if we can't get our cell phones to pick up service everywhere we go, you're going to think that they got their systems down pat to know how many people there are. Really? I know, right? You know what? They put the population sign out there, okay? And how often do you guys see them change those? Not often. I don't see them going out there when a new baby's born saying we've got now 36,001 person, right? You're the bot, huh? I don't think so, Chloe. You're a real person. Only 144,000. Is that how many people you think are living on the earth now, Suso? I know that there's talk of background people and non-participant players and things like that. But you got to realize that we're background people and non-participant players for other people that are going through their journey. You don't know? Okay. Census every 10 years. Yeah, but you know what? They come door to door trying to do those censuses and nobody tells the truth on them. Tell you, or they don't open the door. They try. They try to count us. Yeah. And like I said, you see the population sign, it's mounted before you go into a city or whatever. And, maybe somebody came through and shot it with a shotgun or whatever. It's got all those little pellet marks in there. It's been there for decades. And, babies are born every day. So it's not right. They're not keeping up. And plus, people graduate from here and move on. That's why they gave up there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think Trump's wanting to do a census. I don't know how he would figure out where illegals are. They're not registered. Where are you going to find them? I mean, and they don't even know if people are alive or not, because a lot of them will pick up the social security number of somebody that just passed away and just start using it as their own. It's just crazy. There's just no way. They don't know how many people were. It's a guesstimation, but I do remember when I was in high school that it was only 3 billion or 3.5 billion people allegedly on the planet. Now, I have to say, I've traveled across the United States. It's not that crowded. There's a lot of beautiful landscape, untouched land, beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, if they get the Social Security cards, and like I was just talking about, okay, somebody passes away in their family, got it illegal there, they just take on that Social Security number. Then they don't even know. It's just crazy. I really just do not think that they are able to count the people. There's just not a possible way of doing that in any kind of a sensible way that would be. You'd have to recount the people every day because the baby's born and people passing away and things happen. You'd have to recount them every day. Just there would be no way to keep up. My tablet's terrible. At least I'm able to see the chat though this way. Yes, they sure do. Don't they go Democrat usually? After they die, they vote Democrat. Good night, Mel. Well, I'm about to bounce off here anyways. I can't believe it's almost been an hour already. You guys dropped the link to the flame. I don't think there's anybody in here that hasn't seen it already, but just in case. If you guys want to meet in there, that would be awesome. So the lighting's better. You can actually see me. So deep. And then I hope that I explained a little bit more about speaking in tongues, the heavenly language, the pineal gland, chakra system opening, the kundalini, the journey, how it's an individual journey. You don't necessarily need a guide, and why it's not necessary to have a guide, because it's so individual, it's so unique and divine just for you. It's almost better just to go into the isolation period, do whatever you are asked, whatever is put upon your heart, do whatever is asked at that time, and let the process flow through. It's when other people interfere with what's going on with you where trouble starts. That's just my opinion. Now, you can glean from people that are putting out information. Absolutely. Do that. But if anybody's going to start thinking that you're crazy, or you're possessed by demons, or that's of the devil, or anything that's going to hobble your walk, it's better not to say a word. It's just better to be quiet and go through your transition in quiet and then move on through. That's okay, Glowing. I got you plastered up on my divine interviews. If I want to talk to you, I'll just watch it. All right, guys. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with others. There's a lot of us going through this transition, and it is difficult. And I do recommend, groups like The Flame, to have a good support base behind these amazing things that we are seeing. They will help get through. We all are not on the same path. This is a narrow path. We're each on our own, but the destination is the same. It's a beautiful journey. If you want to be following Christ, that's okay. If you call it source, that's okay. Think you're a light worker, that's okay. Losing the labels is one of the things that just needs to go. That's old paradigm thinking. Let's just go on that path. Let's reach that destination, and let's co-create and not buffer each other and make this place of plenty where there's no lack, and of equality where there's no hierarchy, where there is unity in diversity. And share what you know and listen so you can grow. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notifications. You never know when I'm going to pop on live and do improv. Peace. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. Hold on. There we go. Peace. I'll talk to you soon.